SLS GmbH is not a workshop. The work shown, which we carry out on our own vehicles, are merely experience reports and may contain errors. They are therefore not to be understood as professional instructions. Unfortunately, we cannot accept orders.
Hi there, I'm Niels from SLS, and as part of our conversion project for the R107 from the US to European standards, today we'll show you how to swap the headlights. In one of our recent videos, we already demonstrated how to remove the front bumper. You can watch the video there. And this is the starting point where we'll begin swapping the headlights. For our conversion, I decided to go with this product. These are headlights in OE quality. We'll also need these wiring harnesses, which you can find in our shop as well. The wiring harnesses are almost fully pre-assembled. I just need to route the turn signal socket under the seal here. I lift the seal slightly here and can then pull the turn signal socket through underneath. It's important to make sure the cable, or both cables, are properly fitted into this guide groove. That way, the rubber seal will sit correctly again. I'll quickly insert the bulb. This is what everything looks like now in the fully pre-assembled state. I'll start by removing the headlights now. First, I'll unscrew the trim panels, then the frame of the dual headlights, and after that, I can remove the entire lighting unit. The lighting unit is attached to the headlight bucket with 4 screws. There are 2 here, one underneath here, and another one on the outside. Here, we can see the compact connector, and for this model series from this production year, the ground wire is especially notable, as it sits on this pin. We'll need to modify this 6-pin connector so that it fits the European setup. This means we'll need to integrate the ground wire into this compact connector. One of the high beam connections is unnecessary and can be replaced with it. For our European version, we have the recently removed headlight here, as well as an earlier variant. The difference between them is that the one we just removed has a separate ground pin, which we've disconnected. While in the European version, the ground is integrated into the connector, as it should be. This change likely occurred with the introduction of the lamp control unit, though we can't determine the exact timing. The pin configuration for the early USA version starts here with 1, which is the side marker. Number 2 is the low beam. Number 3 is the high beam. Number 4 is the running light and parking light. Number 5 is the ground. And number 6 is the turn signal. This is the later version that we removed from the vehicle. Here we see the ground wire. Number 1 is the side marker. Number 2 is the low beam. Number 3 is the high beam for the inner light only. Number 4 is the running light and parking light. Number 5 is the high beam for the outer light. And number 6 is again the turn signal. The power lead for the former running light in the US turn signal, which is gray in the vehicle harness, now automatically powers the new 4-watt running light bulb in the main reflector without changing its connector position. No changes are needed here. The vehicle's power leads for the turn signal, black and green, and low beam, yellow, as well as one of the high beam filaments, white, remain in unchanged positions on connector position 3 for both versions. The power lead for the former side marker white and green, lands on a blank pin of the new lamp without needing repositioning. No changes are required here either, as the side marker is no longer used. For the previously combined high beam of the two filament sealed beam H4, the vehicle harness used connector position 5. I need to clear this slot to later place the ground wire. Brown, there, as required by the European headlight. Since after the conversion only one high beam filament needs to be powered, the second high beam wire from the vehicle can be insulated and set aside. The numbering of the connector positions can be found on the compact connector on the vehicle. Here we see the current state of the vehicle, which we want to maintain. Therefore, we'll improvise to relocate the ground connection to the compact connector. We'll keep this ground wire and use a small piece of cable to add a male connector and place the crimp sleeve as a female connector in the plug. I'll now unscrew this contact to show why it doesn't fit directly into the compact connector. Here you can see that the crimp sleeve is stuck in this housing. You can carefully pull it out a bit. There are small clips that hold it in place. If you compare this crimp sleeve to the ones used here, you'll notice that it's simply a bit too long and doesn't fit into this connector. That's why we're making this small modification. I'm now preparing the cable connection between the ground wire, the separate one we have on the vehicle, and the compact connector. On one side is the crimp sleeve, and on the other side is the pin. I've soldered the ground connection wire and will now install it accordingly. I'll remove the red and white cable that's currently in there. We don't need that. I'll now insert our newly soldered ground wire and close the connector. We now have our ground connection. I'll connect it here, and it's done. I'll now insulate the connection we just removed with heat shrink tubing and some electrical tape to ensure it doesn't contact the housing. The wiring is now complete. The headlight can be mounted at this point. We just need to install the mounting rivet. The factory setup includes a pin at the back, which we'll trim off. This is the part that will be inserted into this hole. The rivet is quite reluctant to fit into the hole, so we'll need to find a bit of a workaround. I have a small clamp, an 11mm socket, a 1/4-inch drive, and a 10mm socket. We'll use these to try and insert the rivet into the hole. The rivet is now being placed into the headlight bucket from the outside. The rivet is in place, and that worked well. Finally, I'll insert the pin. The preparatory work is now complete. We can now insert the headlights into the headlight buckets. Both headlights are mounted. We'll perform a function test now before attaching the trim panels as the final step. We can make rough adjustments at this stage. The fine adjustment for the TÜV inspection should be done at a professional workshop. The height adjustment is made with the outer screw, and the lateral adjustment is made with the inner screw. Is it working? Now, as the final step, we'll screw the trim panels back on, and the work is complete. That's it for today. You can find more videos on lighting on our channel. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on our conversion project. Until then, goodbye.